going on? Welcome to the show. Script Threat Vet podcast, Thursday, 7 p.m. I'm Ty. Welcome. Glad to see you on TikTok. Glad to see you on YouTube. And thanks for hitting us up on Facebook. We're not going to have Matt with us tonight, so let's go ahead and bring Al Hero in. What's going on, man?
Man, so I lied to you. I do have a short rant, nothing crazy. So let me tell you something. I don't care how tough you are. My wife has been on my ass all day about how I'm soft like hot butter, like I'm like baby poop soft because I've had a toothache. Like I'm talking like, bro, take you to your knees. She's, like I feel like this equivalent of labor pains. If you've had babies, this is probably what it feels like in my mind. Because I'm gonna tell you what, bro. I went to the dentist today. He was like, "Oh, it's the military." So I want to blame the United States military, medical, dental people. Y'all suck. Y'all are horrible, man. The guy was like, "You got damn fillings in your mouth that take up like I don't know so much percent of a tooth." He's like, "They should never do that. They should put crowns." I'm like, the military didn't ask me for permission. They just did whatever when I joined. But I got like a crack in a filling that every time I eat or drink something, like I'm gonna get skinny as hell because I can't eat nothing. It's crazy, Ty. Like it's been a rough couple of days, bro. So my wife's been on me because I'm soft. Apparently, I'm weak. I'm soft. But I want to just say, hey, naval medicine, naval dentists out there, please do these people right when they come and see you. Don't just do stuff because it's cheap. You got me running around looking crazy with. I still got metal fillings, bro. I don't know if you know what that looks like. I got still got metal. Like it's crazy. Like they're like, oh yeah, that's kind of what the military does. It's like cheap and easy. I'm like, oh, appreciate it. Can I get that added to my disability check? Can I get some dental pain added to my check? You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro.
Army. I had outstanding dental care in the Army. I don't remember.
I never was a Cat 4. I was always good, but when you first get in, they fix all your like. My parents must have hated me. Like I didn't go to they were like dentist. Good luck, buddy. Like getting the military, they're like, oh, we got you, bro. We're gonna.
Well, I mean, if you want to complain, tonight's a good night to complain because we have active duty Colonel Nicole Spears, Army. Director, GFM, G33, and MEDCOM. It doesn't say DentCom, but
that's okay because she's Army. You said you had great, outstanding care. And I didn't even get on boats. I was a combat guy. I was a CB. I was a combat guy. Y'all could have took care of me like the Army. They didn't. They didn't say. Apparently, they. I feel like they did. And then I go to a dentist. He's like, buddy. He's like, see all these fractures and all these little cracks. Like that's because the filling is. I'm like, what? Like when I got out the military, when we get out, like we go to medical, you do like a PHA, you go through the process, like they checked me off. Like it was, they just wanted to get rid of me, bro. They were like, yeah, you're good, bro. Don't even worry about it.
All good.
You're all good, bro. Man, I feel shafted. I feel like they got me. I feel like Navy medicine got me. So if you're out there, kids, and you want to join a military branch, go Army. That's all I'm going to say. Go Army. They take care of their people. They don't have.
I got to change that video. It still says Tuesdays.
Go Army. Anyways, so that's my rant for today. I'll keep it nice and clean and good. But because I went to the dentist today. Like it was bad, bro. I called him. Was like, because I have an appointment in September for a cleaning. I wasn't gonna make it in September, bro. Like. I could feel my heartbeat in my head. I was like, man, that's bad. Like, that's crazy.
Well, you said you were combat. I remember, being on a bunch of deployments. I think, I went on 7 deployments and then they sent me to Fort Polk, Louisiana, now Fort Johnson, I guess. And they sent me to the 115th cache. So I had no idea what to expect when I went to the cache. So actually when I got there, I saw a bunch of medical people, so they had never probably seen somebody as like me in commo, at least in signal, like I was in signal. But the staff that we had there was comprised of like our hospital commander was a full-bird colonel. Yeah, so there's a bunch of majors and everything. And at the time, our guest was a major when I knew her. But let me just read a little bit about her. Colonel Nicole Spears graduated from the University of Louisiana at Monroe, ULM, in 2003 with a bachelor's of science degree in psychology. In 2018, she earned her master's degree in organizational leadership from Webster University. Her previous assignments include everything from platoon leader all the way up through commander, and now she is a battalion commander and a director for MEDCOM. Or, she's served in every leadership role there is in MEDCOM. Her awards and decorations include a couple Bronze Stars, Meritorious Service Medals, ARCOMs. Colonel Spears is married to Carrie Broussard, 20-year retired veteran himself, and their sons are in Kentucky, Nicholas and Kingston. So, nice. This is like we bring people on the show sometimes, and we tell their story, of course, but then some of these people have served with us, so they can get some insight on what it was like to serve with us. So I always liked hearing from Master Chief Massey, what it was like to serve with you when had to bring you alongside.
Oh, like this, I was rough. I was like you. I was rough around the edges, so I had a lot of leadership, a lot of bringing alongside.
Yeah, what I remember so much from the 115th Cash was I'd gotten used to, basically for most of my career, deploying, getting ready to deploy, deploying, getting ready to deploy. And then when I went to the 115th Cash, a lot of their staff is called Profis. So there wasn't a lot of people. So there was like companies that I had no idea how they were set up. Alpha Company didn't have any people. And then HHC, it was set up kind of weird. But the mentorship and the amount that I learned from the first sergeant from the Bravo Company named First Sergeant Case Braggs, Major Spears, Natasha Looper, Sergeant Major, I can't remember his name, but he was an amazing dude. But just the leadership that I had there really calmed me down after all those deployments, and it really got back to the planning and thinking about the soldiers themselves. You had to think about yourself and your squad and what you're going to do in combat. But these people that I met on this staff, they really taught me how to deal with people like back in garrison, and that's something that I had not done for a while. And then it actually led to me working for our guest next week, General Hickman, there at Fort Polk. So there's a lot of professional development that I want to talk to Colonel Spears about. So if it's all good with you, I'll go ahead and bring her on.
Yeah, bro, let's get her on.
All right, without further ado, here we go. Colonel Nicole C. Spears. Woohoo!
Hey! Bow, bow, bow.
There you go. What's up, man? What's going on?
Living a dream. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Blessed.
I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be on your podcast. It's a true honor to even be asked, especially when, it's NCO that I had the utmost respect for to ask me to do this. This is just, it's a blessing. It's a blessing when people you work with still want to be in contact with you, because that means I guess I'm doing something right. So I appreciate you for allowing me to be on here today.
Yeah, I appreciate the culture and environment that we created there, because I'd never been in a unit like that before. So my expectations were not what actually happened. I mean, Looper was, Audie Murphy, drill sergeant, knew every freaking regulation, just like boom, boom, boom. And then you come in with the structure and framework for, getting our plan going. And like there were some NCOs that just did some awesome shit there. And I was pleasantly surprised, but I was surprised. I was like, damn, what you hear is not what is actually happening, especially at 115 Cash.
Yeah, I came to you guys right after being an OC for JRTC for a couple of years. And then even our 4 at the time, Major Reed, he had deployed multiple times. I deployed multiple times. Looper. So a lot of us had them back-to-back deployments that grounded all of us and connected all of us. And that's why, even though we were subject matter experts in our field, we knew the most important thing was taking care of soldiers. So it kind of worked out for us, being on our shit and taking care of soldiers.
Yeah, I'm constantly talking on Facebook with Dion Robertson all the time. So we always go back and forth. So just like you said, the people that were there made a big impression. I still talk to people to this day.
And not to mention, Colonel Stevens was Special Forces, tabbed out multiple deployments. So from the top down, I mean, it was a wealth of experience, wealth of knowledge. and like we all got it. Like it was like perfect timing for all of us to come together. That was probably one of my favorite assignments. So.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, I mean, we always like to start the interview out by, where'd you grow up? What was that like? And what was your family life like before you joined the military?
All right. So I was a military brat. Mom and dad both met in the military. They both were signal soldiers. Who would have thought, right? And my mom and dad ended up getting together. She got pregnant with me. She got out when she was pregnant with me. And we traveled around with my dad. So with my dad, we was at Bragg, we was at Lewis, we was in Germany at Stuttgart, Kitzingen, and just traveled around with him. They both was from Louisiana. So my roots or my home base was always Louisiana. So, and then I had family members in Dallas, Texas. So my family, some of them stayed in the projects and stuff. So it was a good balance. So in the summer in between PCSing, we'll stay with family, and, when we're not staying with family, we'll travel around with my dad. So I look at that as keeping me grounded to know, don't look down on people. Everybody, some people go through hard times, but it's all about what matters, which is family. So, and when you're a military brat, you tend to kind of like foster that home life and realize how important it is. As long as y'all together, where you're at don't really matter.
Yeah, that's the truth. So, I mean, is that where the inspiration to join the military? Did you pretty much know from an early age you were going to join the military?
Yeah, I mean, both my parents was in the military, so I knew a regular 9-to-5 wasn't going to work for me. I need to be able to like do stuff and be outside and travel. And so from the jump, once I graduated college and I came off from being my dad dependent, and I had to go with them to get on a military base, I already knew that wasn't gonna work for me. So I had to go ahead and do my thing in college. I worked in college as a janitor, did work study, worked in Wendy's, paid my tuition off a little bit until I earned that ROTC scholarship. And then once I got the scholarship, I said, "Now I'm gonna take y'all seriously since y'all paying for my school." And the rest is history.
How long have you been in, man? Total.
It'll be 22 years this August.
They throw that big star at you. You gonna stay?
Absolutely not. Not worth it.
I don't know. He said, "Not with you." I
nah. And then the hubby wanted me to get out at 20.
What did he? What he do?
So he was a mechanic, E7, retired. He said he didn't want to do a day over 20.
Army.
So he did 20 years in 1 week because they made him do the retirement ceremony.
Was that 80? That's 88 series, right?
He was a heavy wheel mechanic, but always a motor sergeant. So we started out as friends in the 21st Cash, and like he used to be on all the convoys and everything doing recovery missions.
Yeah.
The crazy part is he didn't give me my license. I earned my license because we had to convoy between Abu and Cropper.
Yeah.
So because I was the one at the time, I wanted to put myself in the rotations with my soldiers so that way they wouldn't be the only ones on the road, because that MSR was black quite a bit. So it was good to be able to rotate in and out and not have them out there, every mission.
Yeah.
So my ride was a 5-ton with trailer.
Everybody said that route stayed black. That one MSR was in Michigan and Tampa. All them
stayed black.
Yeah.
Stayed black.
Yeah, I remember.
That's something I really wanted to hit up on quite a bit, is the mission of the cache in combat, because I'd been, like I said, been deployed 7 times. I've seen a lot of different perspectives of combat. I worked in the D rear talk during my first deployment, and then out with the infantry and MPs for the rest of the deployments. And then to see it even when we were just doing mission rehearsals, to see those helicopters come in and then see the patients come in. Can you describe what that mission's like to actually work in a cache?
So I'll take a step back and start from doctrinally the different roles. So your experience most likely was the self-aid, buddy aid, line medic, which is the probably our most important medical asset on the battlefield because they could do medevac or casevac. Your next line of defense will be that battalion A station, which could split in two. They got your doc and your PA. But then you have the Charlie Med, which is also forward. So my first deployment, I'll deploy with a Charlie Med. With the Charlie Med, we're as far forward as possible. And that was my first experience dealing with casualties. And that was also my first experience dealing with angels. And angels were the ones who were killed in action while we was there. Doctrinally, we're not supposed to deal with angels. That's supposed to be a log requirement. But that was in our Ramadi around Fallujah and everything. So we had to make what we had on hand work. So we did that mission. So the Charlie Med, again, treating casualties, putting them on a aircraft or evacing them on ground. That was our mission. Then fast forward, my second deployment was with a combat support hospital. And we went to Abu Ghraib after all that stuff went down with the prisoners and everything. And that was where I experienced by doctrine hospitalization. So you got the role 1, you got self-aid buddy aid, role 2, you might get a forward surgical team, but the area we was in, they wouldn't send us one because we kept getting hit and everything so bad. And we also did the Fallujah push when we was in the Ramadi area. Role 3 came in. That's where you had like the whole Abu Ghraib scandal, all that, that went on. And they really didn't want us there, but we ended up receiving all casualties in that area. But our mission was to take care of the detainees. So day in, day out, we're caring for the detainees. The hospital commander at the time was Colonel Clark. And he was like, hey, these are patients, regardless of how we feel about it. We need to take care of them as such, which kind of was a somewhat of a difficult time for me because I just left one combat deployment where they was trying to do everything they can to kill us. And then in my second deployment, we still had to treat them with respect and dignity, even though they wanted us dead. So it was a mental deal, but I had a great team taking care of the detainees, doing our mission. We closed down Abu Ghraib, stood up Camp Cropper, which was in a Victory Base complex, and continued to do our mission there. We even had Saddam Hussein come through there during my second deployment. Third deployment, I went back to the Charlie Company, and that's when I was a Charlie Company commander for that one. And Cobb Adder, Gary Owen, that area right there. And we was co-located with the Role 3, which again, doctrinally, that's where you have hospitalization. So that Role 3 took care of all military contractors, anybody that needed support, received support at that Role 3 at that time. And we will augment that Role 3 versus standing up a Role 2. You don't want a Charlie Med stood up next to a combat support hospital, which is now called a hospital center field hospital by doctrine.
Man, when were you in Ramadi? What year?
Ramadi was 2004, 2005.
We was there together then.
And we deployed out of Korea.
Yeah, so I deployed out of Guam. So I was in so 03 time frame Fallujah to 04, and then Ramadi 04 to 05. So we'd have been there. So y'all probably our
I was the Charlie Med that was right there.
Yeah, I was about to say because our corpsmen, our docs, they got support.
So you was a CB.
I was.
So we were close with y'all. You was walking distance from my Charlie Med. I messed around. Yeah. I shouldn't have been, but I was dating a CB at the time as a lieutenant.
What was his name? Man,
what was that? Rose. Tall, light-skinned dude. He was a CB.
He might have been on the. Was he a reservist?
Maybe.
I was part of a CB reconnaissance team, the CERT team.
Oh, you was with the recon. He was there with the builders, so they were building up our Ramadi.
He might have been a reservist. So NMCB 14. Remember, you were there when they got just decimated. Remember that group of CBs in Ramadi? Like 14 or 15 of them got just. It was one of the highest casualties in the entire war in one location.
But that ended up when they sent us there from Korea, because they changed up our mission.
Yep.
I ended up having to take care of between 70 and 80 angels.
Yeah.
And like probably 50 of them was from 2ID that I was a part of. Yeah. Like that area was like,
where were you at
all my deployments, I wasn't going to go back to that one again.
Where'd you come out of Korea? Where were y'all at?
Camp Hovey.
Oh, okay.
Right above Camp Casey.
I was in Pohang for a little bit, so. No, it's just
world.
I heard you talking about the the Fallujah Ramadi and all that. I was like, man, and then you said Abu Ghraib. I remember rolling through through the prison after all that happened. It was like, this is crazy. So I was like, we had to be there. Yeah,
we was there at the same time.
Part of a CB reconnaissance unit. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we were there at the exact same time because when we got there, we only had the military showers, and like a lot of the contractors were getting killed on Ramadi. Yeah. So we ended up. I ended up being
405. Ramadi was not. That is not where you wanted to be.
Nobody wanted to be there. They, like I said, they wouldn't send us a mortuary affairs team or a surgical team. It was like they came down like 6 months later and gave me a crash course, and it left that night. They was like, "All right, we out." I was like, "What? Whatever."
We had an Army. We did it was an Army medic. I think he was, I don't know what his rank was, but him and our doc decided it was a good idea. We had nothing else to do. We had a guy who had a BB in his, you never would have stood for this, man. I promise you that. He had a BB in his leg from when he was a kid, and they cut the BB out in the hooch. Just like, come on, let's cut this BB out. And they got the BB out.
Like I'm telling you, over there, it was like anything goes. Like they had, like we were finding wild pigs. That was, they had wild animals and stuff. They were roasting it. Like it was just, it was like the wild, wild west right there in Ramadi. Honestly,
we got a hold of some nitroglycerin drops. We were dropping them under our tongues, passing out. Like we nothing else to do.
Hey, but it was one of them environments where it was like, hey, we might not see tomorrow, so.
Yeah, we stole them. We stole from the Army. Stole it from us. We stole a donkey. We stole a donkey from the Haji camp, and was going to make it our pet. And we went on a patrol. Came off a patrol. The Army had stolen it, so we had spray painted it. The Army, one line wrote U.S. Army unit on it. And then the Marines stole it. Oh yeah, it was the wild, wild west.
It was crazy. It was a crazy time.
So you leave country. And
which one?
You leave downrange. So you leave Iraq, and where do you head to next?
No, I went 3 times. So which? Okay. The first one, the second one, or the third one? So I did 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10.
Got it. So my brother was there in 10. So that, he was there in 10, I think.
Yeah, I did Ramadi, and then I did Abu Ghraib to Cropper VBC, and then I did Adder that had like Gary Owen and all those spaces. The last one, because we had to like support like a ring route, the convoys would be in MRAPs and be about 12 hours long one way.
Oh yeah.
And then when we got there the first time, we convoyed up. So just getting from Korea on that first deployment, hot as hell, felt like we couldn't breathe, had the Mad Max armor on the trucks.
Yeah.
Hopped in them 997s and LMTVs and everything, could barely close the door, sandbags on the floor.
Yep.
And rolled up in the country.
We didn't even have, when we rode in, we had no up armor. Like we came out of Guam. We were supposed to go to Thailand, and we're on the tarmac. We're like on the plane. Everything's good. I'm like, we're going to Thailand, baby. It's about to be ball. I'm about to Patty Beach. And they came on over like, we got bad news, fellas. MCB 14 just got hit really, really bad. They don't have a reconnaissance unit in the area where the closest recon team. Right to Kuwait. Did the little Kuwait, the little training camp,
that little BS training,
that little throwing 30 weight oil on you, 50 cal, and then all of a sudden we comboed in like y'all did with straight up green Humvees. We didn't have no desert camis. We was in green Humvees,
and then we ain't had no real stops. We sleeping in the trucks and stuff. Yep. Sandstorm getting us.
They gave us
that was a weird time.
one
I
can
told
of
him, I
ammo.
said, man, I was like, this is a suicide mission.
He ain't never lied. So after Iraq, where was your next stop after your last tour in Iraq?
All right, so I'm old. I'm over 20 years. I gotta go step by step. So the first one came back, Korea to Iraq. They sent us to Fort Carson. And then from Fort Carson, I then went to Texas. And that's where I went to the 21st Cash and deployed with them. So like 6 months later, like, welcome to 21st Cash, we're deploying. So I went right back to Iraq. And then the people that I deployed with the first time, when I was redeploying, it was coming in.
Yeah.
So then I left from there. I went to Fort Sam. I was an instructor, class advisor. And after that, I deployed again. I was like, I'm getting up out of here. It's too political. I'm out. Went to whenever you have someone come in and they send them overseas just to get a combat patch because they didn't have one.
Yep.
It was time to go. Yep. So I ended up deploying with 41AD, 121st, now 123rd BSB. Again, another amazing group of soldiers and team. My battle C Wright, he was my first sergeant for that one. I got to give a shout out to Captain Wade at the time, Captain Wade D. Jackson, First Sergeant Mitchell, and then all my battles from my second deployment, Mitchell, Sergeant Broussard, Pruitt, Myers, Lord bless his soul, Gotti, a couple of people that we'll deploy with over there as well, and Giliante, he was over there with us as well. But anyway, deployed to Iraq again, came back, and then I was an OC for JRTC. And then from there, I ended up being a 3 for the 115 Cash, and the rest is history. Nice. Oh, I was a battalion commander for 61st too, but that was like phases down the road.
One of our docs on here, Carlos, had a question. He wanted to know what a cash was.
Combat Support Hospital. So doctrinally, it's now called a hospital center, which is just a headquarters element. And then they have field hospitals. So the hospital center is commanded by 06, and then the field hospital is commanded by 05.
Yeah, he said he made a comment. I guess he worked at Fort Sam. He was at Fort Sam, and he taught JMOC and PHEM, whatever that is in the medical world. I don't know. Sounds like FEM. I don't know what FEM is. But
oh, nice. That's awesome. Hopefully I get to meet you in person if you're here at Fort Sam. I'm over at R North right now, so I'm their surgeon.
So let's I want to kind of, I mean, obviously you've got some great stories, but I really want to know and talk a little bit about your motivation, right? You talked about your family and the drive to join. It was kind of in your blood from a long, many moons ago, right? Your family did it. You did it. You wanted to do it. But what motivated you to go Army, right? Was it your family, or was it just something that was, you just felt like you needed to do? What was the motivation? Where was that motivation and that drive to go into the Army, out of all your options, you went Army?
All right. So it was in phases, right? So first phase was I need to make some money and I want somebody to pay for my college. So went to college partying and was like, I need something to pay for this. So Army ROTC, went to basic camp in Kentucky at the time. Now they call it, I think, advanced leadership or leadership camp. But I went to basic camp, competed for a scholarship, came back. Little nice old lady helped me get my ROTC scholarship. And then I started taking it seriously for the most part in college. Went to OBC in San Antonio for 4 months. Didn't really learn nothing except for where all the parties were and how great the Riverwalk was. I had great instructors, but I mean, you're coming out of college. Life is good. You're actually making a couple of dollars. So, I was like, I'm going to learn my job when I get to my unit. My dad gave me great advice. My dad was like, look, take care of your soldiers. You take care of your soldiers, they're going to take care of you. And you got to be sincere about it. So that was my focus from day one was whatever I do, I'm gonna make sure my soldiers are taken care of. No matter what that is, I'm gonna take care of them. Even if I gotta be a hard leader because I want them to live through what we may have to go through. But I truly, my whole career, the thing that got me through it was just taking care of my soldiers, and they took care of me. So did OBC, and then the rest is history because I went to Korea thinking I was going to have a couple years to learn my job. And it was like, you know, God got a sense of humor. He was like, you're going to learn it. You're going to learn it in real life, called Iraq. So went through KTC, which was a bootleg version of a CTC in Korea during monsoon season. And anybody that been in Korea during the rainy season know what that means. It's raining so hard you can barely see 3 feet in front of you, and you still got to do PT, and you still got to show up to the motor pool and do everything else. But like when my soldiers were in the motor pool, I was in the motor pool. When they was in the Connex, I was in the Connex. And my thing was, I'm gonna earn their respect. And once I got to a point where my soldiers be like, man, we got this, you know, and it was on a respect level, that's when I knew I'm doing the right thing. And I do that every assignment I had. That's what I did.
That's awesome. And you can hear it in your voice. You can hear, you know, you can see the leadership and just the drive, right? And the desire to take care of people. What advice would you give the young generation, right? The young officers coming up in the Army today. What advice do you give them? Your dad gave you great advice. What advice are you giving them?
Man, when I was a battalion commander, man, this new generation is something else. Okay. And I be on their ass because I want more for them. My thing was always as a company commander and a battalion commander, because I was a battalion commander for 61st MMB, 10 companies, taking care of them and their soldiers. But my advice was, get your ass out there where the soldiers are. You need to learn your job. That platoon sergeant, we need to learn from the platoon sergeant. I don't care about your bar. You are a private with a bar. But what you better do is be out there and earn respect and learn your shit. You gotta learn your shit. And the reason why I say that is once you do start being in leadership positions, it's a trickle down effect. If you don't know what you're doing and know what you're talking about, somebody else is going to do it for you. And then the first question is, if I'm doing your job, what I need you for?
That's right.
So I knew that if my lieutenants was out there in the Connex, if I caught their butts in the air, acting like they doing a slide, that's a problem. You better take that laptop outside, do what you got to do, multitask, figure it out. But listen to your platoon sergeant, listen to your squad leaders. Make sure you are out there. When it's time to do PMCS, you need to be out there PMCSing your truck. When it's time to be in the Connex doing inventories, you need to be out there pulling out the containers, pulling out your equipment, going line by line. It's not they out there doing it because they junior. You better be going through all of that with them. And if they do that, they earned that respect. They were taken care of, and they ended up being better leaders because you're starting from the bottom. And by the time you become a commander, they do the same with their lieutenants and so forth, and end up trending in the right direction.
Nice. All right.
So, ma'am, how much of a small miracle was the expert field medical badge that y'all put together? Was that like a big deal that y'all did that, right? And
Bruh,
this what you was talking about.
We killed it.
Yeah, with the synergy you built.
Man, that had to be one of the best EF&Bs ever.
Yeah, wax poetic about that for me, man.
Bruh. Like, how do you, okay, for whatever reason, you got people who want to like do these old crappy watered down train events where you got people spending money for their soldiers to come to a world-class event. And for us to never, and the blessing was I was an OC for JRTC, so I knew all the folks to kind of like push this through. And then you helped us talk and like made sure all our commo and stuff, like we had a bona fide talk. So what we ended up doing, which was smart, we maximized the medal tasks for the combat support hospital at the time, now Hospital Center Field Hospital. We maximized by having an entire headquarters element out there deployed our different units out there and utilized the EF&B as the mission set, because we had to sustain ourselves. We had to be able to have C2, command and control. We had to be able to take care of the soldiers that were out there, ensure like tents, food, all the different classes of supply, and we had to execute the training. With JRTC, we had like a top of the line talk with a sand table. VIPs would come through. It had video to be able to record the candidates going through, and it was amazing. That probably was one of the best EF&Bs. Like, even the surgeon came down, was like, this top tier. I ended up doing it again at Fort Hood at the time when I was a 61st MMB commander, but I had set it up to prepare us for LISCO. So I had the EF&B at that time, and the surgeon came down, said it was the best for that one, a different surgeon, like FORCECOM surgeon. But I deployed the entire battalion to support that mission. So we knocked out our medal tasks, took care of the soldiers, and, ran EF&B and all that. It was perfect. But one of my sergeant majors had me laughing because on the second EF&B that we ran, it was like, I'm telling you, man, this generation different. Like the junior soldiers and the officers, they were complaining about going. Out there complaining like they making me go. So I just stood in front of formation and said, look, you don't want to be here, get your ass up, head to the top, tell them you're ready to go, and I'll have you out in 24 hours. And there was no more complaining after that. So, I mean, it was just a shock to see, this generation where you get these opportunities. And I'm not saying all of them, but it's like people are either block checking just so they can get promoted, just doing things to get the rank, but they're not caring about the path, the journey, and the experience to get to that point. Because soldiers see through BS. Soldiers and junior leaders can see through BS. And if you're not knowledgeable, you're going to have a rough and a hard time making it through.
Well, I'll tell you, man, CIA Bob here is a guy I served with back in 2003. He was on all the general officers PSD teams, and he's impressed with you. He's hard to impress. So since you've impressed him, that's a lot of accolades there. So
that means a lot to me, especially coming from NCOs.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't sugarcoat nothing. Y'all keep it real. I love it.
Yeah, I don't think Bob's had any sugar in about 45 years. But I want to add on to the thing that you did at JRTC. We had good comms, yeah, but like I had the lay of the land. That was the easy part. Like the realistic experience of like you made them dig the trench. It was muddy as hell down in that trench. You had the pneumatic gun going off to simulate the small arms fire for all them people coming through. You had all the scenarios running to where you could actually see it. So the actual C2 for the 115 cash. And like I said before, I had not seen that because I'd been like expeditionary, like we just deploy, come back. So to be able to plan and like do those sand tables and do it on the scale of JRTC, since we had that in, and it was just really good training, and I appreciate the synergy we had with that staff.
Who gave us the heads up to do that? Were the soldiers. The soldiers said they was tired of that shitty ass EF&B lane where they just went to a wood line and just did basic stuff. Like it was no real like simulations and stuff like that. So a lot of my ideas come from just listening to the soldiers, because they're not going to sugarcoat it. They're going to be like, ma'am, that's trash. Ma'am, why are we doing this or whatever? So if you listen to them, that in itself can help you come up with some amazing ideas. And some of them have the ideas. It's just a matter of putting the resources behind it, to make it work.
Yeah, and you did. You absolutely did.
I did CST in Kentucky too, and it's crazy because Task Force Med in Kentucky, you have probably about at peak 10,000 people on the ground, cadre, bunch of lieutenants coming in or want to be lieutenants, and my staff was filled with E4s and some E5s, and my XO was I think she was an E7 at the time or an E8. And it's like that staff ran flawlessly. So if I can give people advice, just give everybody a chance. Don't just base it off of rank. Because if you're able to motivate them to, own their whatever it is that they have, you can make anything happen with anybody. So it's up to that leader.
So, you got some time?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I want to shift gears with her a little bit. I don't want to. I want to get her take on the transition process. Right. I know she's got 2 years left in or so, a little less. Right. You're getting close. That green grass is knocking on that door. It's coming. Right. So, what would you say to the soldiers or anybody out there, airmen, sailors, anybody out there getting ready to transition out of the military, whether it's retirement or just getting out, right? They've done their time honorably. They're on their way out.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about folks. Don't wait until it's time for you to get out to get whatever house you're going to get, right?
Okay.
Don't wait until, because then your pay is going to change. The approval rating is going to be, probably hard for you to get it because you're paid and changed. And a lot of people pay end up increasing, but nothing's certain. So start that planning. I would say 5 years out. What is you want to do? And then investments. If you don't have some sort of investments, you're already behind. So whether you get a couple of houses.
I heard this exact speech he's about to do in the parking lot when we were talking about a new vehicle. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, a car would depreciate, but you need to get you an investment property or two. And then nobody say you got to spend 6 figures on an investment property. If you look on Civic Source in Louisiana, Texas, you can pay the interest, get the deed in 18 months. There are different ways for you to get land and property so that way you can have that additional income coming in, because you want money that's being made while you sleep. You don't want to have to work to make it. So look at different investments. Even if you want to start a business, do that before you retire if possible. So that way you got that income coming in to fund that business. So that way you're not having to rely so heavily on people coming through. So at this time, I got 10 single family homes in Louisiana, and I ended up getting 25 acres in East Texas, put a cabin on it to Airbnb it, and then I ended up getting another house in Spurger, and I put a tiny home on there for Airbnb and family as well. And then my husband, I made sure that he got at least 2 investment properties before he retired, so that way he can have that additional income as well. And then if you get them cheap, no matter what happens, you pay the house off, you got somewhere to stay.
Yeah, that's my dear.
That's that's all. Like everything we did, whether it was just going out to lunch or something, she always had a plan. Like there was always structure to everything she did, and I very much appreciated that.
And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try anything. Don't be afraid to fail. I had a wing business. It was breaking even. Had to let it go. Had some crazy employees. They were tripping. I had a cafe, and same thing. I had that cafe on post, 2 locations, but my partner was trash. He wasn't really, because I ended up going to CGSC and he wasn't doing his part, so I had to let that go. But my doggy daycare business went for 10 years. The main reason behind that was a lot of us had dogs, and I had like a camera in there. So if they deployed or if they was somewhere else, they could always dial in to see their pet or whatever. But I made more money off the properties than I did once, paying workman's comp and salaries and all of that. So I ended up selling the doggy daycare and just started putting more money into property.
Nice.
Boom.
It looks like it's about to heat up, Ty.
Yeah. So, man, we're about to do what's called the Triple Threat Vet hot seat,
Hey.
So,
we got the shades.
Oh yeah. Normally I wear a hat, but I don't know where my hat's at today. So.
Hey.
Let me put the stuff up here. Normally we have Matt that'll do this part while I'm doing it. So, all right, Al, we'll bring you right back, buddy. All right, so I'm gonna ask you, about 10 questions. I'm
ready.
Yeah.
Now
All
you
right.
know I have no filter. Okay.
I expected. That's why I got so you can't see the wow in my eyes. All right. Leadership, loyalty, duty, respect, self-service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Which one's most important to you?
Selfless service.
And why?
Because if a leader embraces that, they're gonna make sure everybody's taken care of. Loyalty is cool, but you can be loyal to the wrong person. Respect is important, but that should be automatic because of the military. But that selfless service, courage, I've seen people be scared in combat, but that didn't make them a bad person. So that selfless service, if you got that, you're gonna take care of everybody around you because you care about the people that's around you.
It's a good damn answer.
Thanks.
All right. If you had a 1 hour conversation with anyone in history, any one person in history, who would it be and what would the conversation be?
Man. Does it matter who? Does anybody?
Yeah, anybody in history, dead or alive.
I think my great grandpa. He went to the he was a vet in the Korean War, like the real Korean War, not the Korea that we go to. And I would be happy to show him how he started what I am today, and just to get his feedback from his time, and just, and I would slide in if I could, just showing him, my sons and stuff like that. I think that, because my dad passed away, but my dad, he knew how much I cared about him, but I never had that chance to talk to my great grandpa.
Again, that's thanks for that very profound answer. Thanks for sharing that. What is the most unique place on earth you've ever visited?
Probably when I was forced to go to Qatar. I never took R&R throughout all my deployments, but my battalion commander at the time forced me to take a pass, and to be able to do a jet ski on the water in Qatar was pretty awesome. So that's a moment I'm probably gonna always remember.
Yeah, I did the dune buggy thing in Qatar. It was culture shock because you're used to that being a crazy environment, whether you're when you go there and you actually got sea-doos and shit.
That's crazy. You like, man, y'all living like this?
Yeah. All right, man. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Hey, favorite movie? I kind of like that movie Sinners quite a bit. That just came out. I like the whole storyline of that one, but it's crazy because I don't really watch movies like I used to. But if I was to go off the dome on something that I watched so much as a kid, it would probably be between Goonies and Beetlejuice.
Oh, Goonies and Beetlejuice, yeah. I like it. But I watched Sinners too. That's a good ass movie.
It is. I really, really like that movie.
Yep.
I really do.
What's your favorite brother? Blue or red? You the good guy or the bad guy?
You said my favorite brother?
Yeah, and for Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, I like both of them. I'll be like, can I have both?
Yeah. One's
but
and the other one's outlandish.
I can relate to both of them. I like both of them.
Okay. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Probably something from New Edition. You can't go wrong with a New Edition song. Any one of them I'll do.
There you go, Mr. Telephone Man. That was the first one I remember. So this is what I was going to ask you. I wrote this question down. I've never asked this question on the hot seat before. So we like to get to know people, but I knew that you had all these businesses. I know that you're a bevy of knowledge, but other than investments and things like that, what are some of your hobbies that you just do for fun?
Well, I like to dance. I don't club, So I like to sometimes host parties at the house because, you know, you can control who's coming in and out of there. And I'm just having a good time. Like I like to, you know, have shot o'clock. I like to, you know, just enjoy family while they're here. Because when I was deploying and gone all the time, like my family really respected the fact that I was in the military. But like even the house that I have in Houston, we ended up getting that house with plenty of bedrooms and stuff because I knew that my family really is. They're not the kind of just, you know, they can't just up and go on some cruise or fly to Europe or something like that. So I like to be able to give them an experience where all they got to do is get there. So food, drinks, I decorate, New Year's Eve, whatever. Like I invite them there just to have a good time, to have no worries, at least for the weekend. And we just laughing and just, you know, probably have some games, you know, things like that. Just have a good time and appreciate being above ground, Coach. You know, like I do, because you had a sleeve full of deployments. Life is too short not to appreciate the people while they're here on this side of the earth. So that's my biggest thing, is just having a good time with people that I love and respect.
I always felt that year in a couple months that I spent at 115th, I still talk to Jeremy, you know, I keep in touch with him. Like he has stories about my newborn son, you know, like he was the emergency contact for and, you know, his wife was actually in Salerno. We were talking about small army, you and Al being in the same place. His wife was in Salerno when my tent got hit with the round. She was there with her medical unit. So it's
wow.
But I always felt very, very much like a family atmosphere with, especially the 115th, because Looper, Curry, Johnson, man, it was just.
And we're all Facebook friends too. That's when you know you really connected.
Yeah, I gotta get Dion on here too, because Dion is like the antithesis of everything with me, but we can still talk. So I gotta get Dion on here, and we gotta talk some political stuff because we can wax poetic about that. All right, we're getting down to the final two questions here. So this is the most important one, and this is the one that you know, I have no idea which way this is going to go. I know which way I want it to, but I'm just going to ask you, who's the greatest, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson. I love Prince, but Michael Jackson was like, Michael Jackson damn near was nonstop. Michael Jackson started from a kid, and he just went all the way through. Like Prince is like solid too, but Michael Jackson is number one by far.
You knock me off of my feet now, baby. Papa's got a brand new bag.
Well, as you can see, it's a close race, but now it looks like you know, it's 29-35. Prince still has the edge, but it seems like lately I've got a lot of Michael Jackson fans coming on as guests. I'm gonna have to recurate my guest list here so I can get my boy Prince back in the league. All right, ma'am. So I've always thought you would be a great assessor for this. So how do you think we can make our podcast better?
I mean, I think it's awesome. I love it. I think it's just a lot of people don't know. I'll probably hit up Chat GPT and see how to market this more, because everything about it is great. Like I love it. I love the topics. Probably try to get some of those senior leaders to get on here, get people who got like huge followings. Because they got a huge following, then that also kind of gets you out there. And then some of those comedians, like Sergeant Major C. Wright, retired, and then the one female that's a comedian that got a huge following. Try to get them on. So that way more, and that other comedian, what's his name? Yusa.
Yeah, we had Army Muse on here. We had Aston Muse.
Oh, nice. Yeah, getting more of them on here, and the ones that have like created their own movies and stuff. I think you going in that direction is going to get more people to know, because that's the thing, I didn't know. So I didn't know until you told me. So marketing and just getting some of them people with huge followings. They say that's how restaurants do well. Get somebody got like a huge following, and get them in your restaurant, and then they would post it, and more people know about it.
Yeah, I'm afraid what we would do if this got too big, because we all got 3.
Don't be afraid. Scared money don't make money.
Gonna have to make Al and Mac quit their jobs and do this.
Hey, I'm gonna reach out to my boy John B. I'm gonna get John B on here.
Hey, go on, get them on here.
Get him on here. Get my cousin. Get my little cousin on John.
Marcus CIA. Yeah, absolutely. Well, ma'am, what I want to tell you is I really appreciate you coming on, sharing, and in your next 2 years, I wish you the best. And I'm going to see you. I can't believe we're this close and I've not seen you yet. So I'll hit you up with my address after this, and we'll get together soon. But Al, you want to talk about anything else with transition?
No, I think she not really. I think she kind of touched on what I was asking. I do want to just drop a comment. I know you started, Ty. I wanted to make sure. Yeah, Carlos is at.
I want to link up with you.
TI, whatever that is.
Yes, we need to link up, Carlos. Anybody on here, I'm user friendly. Just shoot me a note. We'll link up.
And just so you know, man, he's a barbecue kingpin too. Hey, that dude, he's a competition barbecue chef. So you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He might be able to throw some ribs on for you while you out there.
Hey, I love me some ribs now.
Smoking those barbecue.
Smoking those barbecue. Yep.
13th place in chicken in last year's Danny Dietz Memorial Cook-Off. So
it's gonna be hard to get rid of me.
Yeah, so y'all finished. You said you finished 13th. Now you're telling me I got to beat that. I got to finish higher than 13th. Okay.
Yeah, higher than 13th. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Okay.
The way Carlos is going this year, he's probably going to do really well because he's kicking butt this year. So
that's amazing.
But yeah, I'll link you up with both of those, and then I'll link you up with Al for in the next 2 years when you start to get out. So
yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Man,
this was awesome.
Thanks for sharing your story, and if anything comes up in the next 2 years, please come back on. You're part of the family now.
Hoorah.
Thank you. You could bring me in as one of them guest hosts that they be doing.
It seems like I could just throw you a topic and you'd just like be able to whack foot. Anyway, so we'll probably do that for sure.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Appreciate you very much.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good
man.
What you think?
Pretty awesome, bro. She's awesome, dude. Hey, I'd work for her in a heartbeat. That's the type of leaders I loved. And when I was in the military, that's the type of leaders that I like to work for. I don't want you like sugarcoating. I want, tell me what the fuck you like. Tell me, go fucking do X, Y, and Z. I'm good. I'm a point and shoot guy. You tell me what to do. Like, I like that. I like the direct. I like to know bullshit. I like when she was talking about, if you don't like this shit, you can get the hell up out of it. That's what I like. That is the leadership that I was same as you, that we came up on. And I think, and I'm not saying it's the military now is worse or better or softer or anything. I'm saying it's different, right? And we've talked about this. The culture's changed. The dynamic, people are different. They're more tech savvy. They're probably a little bit more introverted, and they're smarter as a whole. Like,
yeah, it should be easier for them to start these businesses like she's talking about with all the TikTok kind of drives you. Yeah, need to be a business anyway. So it seems like a lot of things she's talking about with tech. Yeah, if she's driving that to her soldiers, I know it's going to permeate through her formations. But I just hope that there's a lot more leaders like her out there. That are teaching the soldiers, because like what she said, we didn't really get into it because I don't really want to bash, but there was a concern, I guess, but like most of the people I see on social media, like that's something I want to do, is probably challenge a lot of the social media people out there that are active duty. I see a lot of great stuff, from whether it be, John Shrek McPhee, whether it be Jason Redmond, all the, Drew Hernandez and all the people that were veterans out there on social media. I love what they're doing. Right. So maybe we'll try to get some of those guys back on the show, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So no, I thought she was awesome. I really do. I think she's outstanding. I'd love to work for somebody like that. And I've worked for the Christian Stovers and the Rowdy Yates and, Chris Rudolphs and those types. So, I mean, I've worked for some pull no punches direct leadership. I love it. So
Yeah, just it's interesting. It's
Carlos nailed it.
yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Like, that's what you need. Somebody who cares about their people, right? It's not concerned with making another rank or not concerned with climbing the ladder. They're more concerned with taking care of the people around them. That's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah. So you missed last week. We had William Branham on.
Yeah, I went back and watched some of it. Matt finally posted it. So
yeah, it's a good show. He's shared a lot of good information with what was going on with his Naked Warrior recovery products. I actually ordered some, so he's got a new customer with me, and I think my stuff should be on the way pretty soon. So appreciate that.
Yep.
Who do we got coming up next?
General. Who's that general?
There we go.
There he is.
General
Hickman.
William Hickman. Next week, I served with him at Fort Polk. He'll be our guest next week on the show, and then hopefully Matt will be back so that we don't sound like idiots when we're trying to interview people or when we're trying to move some structure.
Yeah, we did good. We're good. We need no sticking mats. He told me he was not. Come on, be on.
Well, I told Bob, sorry about that. I told Bob that after we had our guest that he could throw some topics at us and we'd wax poetic about it, but I don't see any topics from him.
He may not be on.
What's up, you Al? Appreciate you jumping on and watching, man. We're about to jump off now.
Yeah, Bob may have signed off.
Yeah. Anyway, appreciate you being back, man. And
yeah, bro, it's always good to get to wax poetic with my brother Ty. Always a good time, man. That's a good looking shirt you got on there too. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, this is one for the Triple Threat Vet Live Foundation. Be more information coming out about that once Matt gets back. We'll do some announcements about that. So we're going to try and raise some money and rebuild the Tomball VFW and do some great things for some veterans in more than one city. Hopefully we can make a nice little model of the Tomball VFW and permeate that to the rest of the Texas VFW and make it work.
Let's do it.
All right, man. I'll let you later.
Yep, love you.
Closing remarks.
Oh yeah, my bad. So really don't have a whole lot. I will say, like I say every week, because I think it's very, very important that we don't lose sight of our battle buddies and our shipmates and our Marines and everybody out there. Check on somebody, tell them you love them, make sure you're reaching out, right? Don't let a day go by where you don't talk to somebody you care about, and make sure that you just check on them, right? Make sure they're doing okay. It doesn't take much to shoot a text or a quick phone call to check on your battle buddy, and check on your people, make sure they're doing good. We lose too many service members every day, and we don't want to lose another one. So make sure you're reaching out and you're doing something right. Get off your ass and get some motivation in you, get some movement, right? Stop just hanging out and just complaining about everything. Like to Ty's point, we want to do a nonprofit where we're going to help raise money to rebuild VFWs and to help veterans. Do something, get involved, right? If you don't like the way things are going, do something about it. Get off your ass. Motion creates emotion. So get out there and fucking do something. But I love you guys. I'm glad you guys tuned in every week. Continue to tune in and tell somebody. Invite your friends, invite your baby mamas. Even if you owe them child support, it's okay. We won't tell on them. Invite them out here, get them out here watching the show. But that's all I got. See y'all next week.
If you or someone you know is in crisis, contact the Veterans Crisis Line at 1-800-273-8255. Then press 1.